Hey guys, Kev here, and I'm gonna take apart this here Buzz and just see what's going on under the hood. I have been carrying one today since I got them. Prototypes are feeling pretty good. This one right here, the D10 is a little lighter than the others. The others are on point. This one's a little bit light for my taste. You can see I can almost feel it. The centering is good on these, but I will say I had to tighten this one down, and then it kind of went off to the side a little bit. You can see there. The tip still looks pretty good, but where I ended up Loctiting it, aka super gluing it, it's definitely off to the this side right here. But the action's dialed with it like that, so I don't know. Just something to note when we give them our feedback. We literally just got them, so... let's see what's under the hood. I'm going to see if skiffs fit, do all that kind of stuff. It is a D-shaped pivot, at least it should be. Yep, D-shaped pivot, DK logo. We'll have to see what's going on there. These are supposed to be T6s, but I think they are actually T8. So the clip screw is T6. That was just because they didn't have T8 clip screws. So that's what it was, they were telling me. And they didn't have T10 pivot screws. They only had T8, which honestly I'd be fine with T8. We wanted T10 on the do I need to even take this out? Is a good question. Yeah, that goes into the backspacer. Okay, good to know. Good to know. We wanted T10 on the stout, and I don't know, I think it's kind of hit or miss. There's a lot of oil in there. So, yeah. So that clip screw actually mounts to this liner right here, which is pretty cool. Wow, this is really cool under here. Look at this. You got a lot going on. Now, the reason you have all this here is because we have the front flipper, which has to come around and kind of seat in. So let me see if I can show you. When it comes around, there has to be a spot. See how that's kind of cut right there? That's for the front flipper. It's kind of cool. And then you have the internal stop pin comes in on this liner right here. Man, that's really cool. And it also rides a track right in there. That's actually super unique. I mean, in my estimation, it seems really cool. So I think I should be able to just pop this off though. I might try to put a little tension on the lock bar. It feels like it has some. So, oh, there. I'm just gonna clean all the gunk and shit off. Maybe it just is all gunked up. So this is a titanium liner, obviously. It already has a good amount of tension on it, so I don't know if I want to mess with that. Maybe I'll give it a little bit. So we're right here, which there's no way for me to gauge that. I guess measurement-wise, I could do this. So from there to the end is, man, this is going to be very rough. Right about there. So I'm just going to give it a little bit. Yep, barely touched it. I think I gave it a little something, but I'm trying to be gentle. These are probably T6, so I take back what I said. These probably have to be T6 because they're under here. I like how there's two, one here and one here holding that insert in, which is nice. Yeah, this is really unique and cool. I like it. Should be 5mm 1/16 bearings. There's a lot of goop and shit in here, so they obviously oil them up. You have internal stop, which hopefully is in place well. You can see the welding or whatever you call that around it, soldering or whatever, I don't know. They need to do a better job with that. They need to be a little cleaner with that, I feel like. I saw that on my On my gripper as well. Look at this blade, man. This thing is mean. That is a sick blade right there. Nice hollow. I did do some measurements, and I'm pretty sure on the blacked out ones, they did not do a hollow. Or they didn't do a deep one anyway. Because when I measured like this. I'll show you what I did, actually. Actually, you can just see what I did. So needless to say, in production, they'll be like the satins. But I went like this, and I wrote it down to right there. So you can see I went that far down the tong, right? And I'm at 0.58, right? So I put the blade all the way up to right this line right here. Now if I take this one and I do the same thing, I get 0.43. So I just get a much thinner measurement. So, I mean, I can feel the hollow here, right? So if I can feel it on one and not on the other, I mean, doesn't that tell you something? I don't know. It tells me something anyway. The action on this one is sick, though. I may end up taking them all apart just to see what's going on. See if this is loose at all. No, that's feeling good. DK logo looks good. Clean the inside of this guy. They just use a lot of oil. I'm not a big fan of putting oil all over everything. I don't know. I prefer to, put a little bit on after, obviously. So you'll see here, this has a steel washer, and then this liner actually has its own steel washer, which is pretty cool. I'm not even going to bother flipping them around. I haven't opened and closed this enough to really worry about that part. So I will test some skifferoons. It's going to be your 5mm, I would assume. So let me just get those guys out. Should have plenty of them. Oh, 3/16. I know I have like 10 pairs or sets, so I just need to find them is all. Of course, I'm grabbing everything but those. Put that here. And these usually come with oil on them, so I'll just clean that off a little bit. All right, so everything's clean. Detent track looks good. Detent ball looks good. You'll notice there's no ramp. There's none needed, honestly. Sometimes you just don't need a ramp. People feel like they have to put a ramp on knives, and I just don't get that, really. I'm going to try to clean inside the pivot. Make sure I get it all out. Sorry, get any kind of schmutz out of there. Usually just take a T6, push a cloth through or whatever, pop it out. Do the same with this guy. You can see the Loctite on there. Didn't hold at all. I feel like whenever you get a knife from an OEM, the Loctite never holds. I don't know what the deal is with that. Alright. So, pop this guy in. And we'll have to check and see which way down. Usually it's down, but so we do have the notched type of D-shaped pivot. That's my preferred way. Not the whole pivot is notched, but I mean a lot of it is there, but not the whole thing. So when it's aimed down, the DK is aiming the right way. That's kind of the key here. Then we're gonna go ahead and get our bearings situated. So I'm gonna take some KPL original, just get it on my fingers like this. Get a bearing all juiced up. Drop it on. Put a blade on. Get the other bearing juiced up. By the way, this is M390 steel. I guess we didn't ask for any markings. We usually try to avoid any type of marking on the knife. We did kind of give in to you guys, basically. On the stout, we added the lettering 20 CV on the inside of the scale because people wanted to have the steel on there. But otherwise, there's nothing on that knife. That's just how Colin and I prefer our knives. At least I do, and I think he agreed, so. All right, so I'm gonna get that locked in, perfect. I'm gonna slide this over. Make sure that all kind of clicks together, yeah. It's holding pretty steady without me doing anything, there you go. It's probably gonna pop off at some point, but I'm gonna get this back in here. Damn, there we go. Just gonna pop this baby on. See how that does not have the square cut? And that's because it doesn't need it. Because the liner has it. I love the looks of this lock bar though, I gotta be honest. It is my knife, but trying to figure out what's going on. I gotta seat it into the liner better, I'm not sure. I'm gonna try moving the blade. There we go. I don't know what that was. Probably the stop pin, but just gonna put a little bit of pressure on that. Put a little bit of pressure on here. I'm gonna take this, we're gonna take this pivot back out at some point to Loctite it. Sorry, caught a dog hair there. Being careful right now that I don't bring the blade down on myself on accident. All right, so I got the bottom and the top there. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop these in. These are T8s. So far, so good. Honestly, pretty unique. It's a knife, obviously, and it functions like a knife, but it has pretty unique internals, in my opinion. Best Tech did a great job with that. I believe this is one of the knives we did not send them a CAD file on. We just sent them really detailed renderings. Colin does like internals and everything, but it's all on Illustrator. So, don't think I did much in terms of detent. You can see there, I can still fail it. But I don't know if bending it is a great idea. It feels pretty good. It's a little bit of stick. I don't know if that's oil or what. So let me just get some alcohol. And that may just be something we have to address with Best Tech on this. A couple of the other ones had a little bit of stick, but I haven't messed with them enough to like determine if it's just break-in or what. Right now I'm just trying to get alcohol on everything. I don't recall cleaning the lock face, and I probably should have done that. The skiffs work fantastically. I mean, we're dead centered. They look good in there. Let's check for any play or anything. Yeah, no play at all. I don't think, honestly, if you listen, I don't think it's really stick. Let me just see. That was for sure. Yeah, now I'm getting stick. Not quite sure what. Guess we can find out, huh? Wait. Okay, so it does come apart. Oh. Okay, so it's just, look at this. It's just coming fully apart now. Because the clip is tied to the liner. So it keeps the liner in. That's interesting. So you could just keep it like this if you wanted to. Take it apart like this. And you basically just have another scale like a frame lock. That's kind of cool. You know? Because what I needed to do was just check this lock face right here. And you can see where it's grabbing right there. So I just want to see what's going on. Get some alcohol all up on that. While we're here, I might try to bend it a little bit. I'm being very careful, just so we don't have issues, but yeah, you can see it right there. This is a steel insert, obviously, so shouldn't be sticking to the steel, which is... And you can see the tang is actually... I wonder if the insert is just softer than the M390 for some reason. And again, this is why we do prototypes, right? So you can mess with shit like this. All right, so let's just see if we can put her back on clean like this. That went through. Yeah. Oh. Looks like it's all back together. I don't think that's doing anything. Let me zoom out. There we go. Still good. Yeah. I'm being too much of a pussy with the lock bar. I just don't want to bend it and fuck it up since we just got these. But honestly, the detent feels fine. I mean, yeah, if I went like this, I could fail it. But if I flick it, it fired. I mean, it actually fires well. And the lock bar already has a stronger feel to it, like this one. Stronger detent, but it glides out of the way a lot easier, if that makes sense. The tension is just in a different place. Yeah, like that's harder to move. That's so easy to move. So I think it's just a matter of the alignment or something on this one they didn't get perfectly. In case you guys don't know, the prototypes are usually a lot of handwork goes into them. They're basically like handmade customs. Not, you know, you get what I'm saying. They're hand tuned and everything, so makes sense. But it's good. I mean, the skiffs definitely are solid in there. I'm just getting that stick that I don't really like. Oh, yeah, now it's really stuck. Jesus. I don't know if I got oil in there or something. So let's leave that one. Actually, I guess we could Loctite it. Since this one I can just leave overnight, not fuck with. I don't need to super glue it or anything. Whoa, okay. Centering is dead on. Yeah, looks good. No play. Good action other than the stick, obviously. I'm gonna back off just a touch and see what happens. All right, I think I'll leave it like that. Feels good. Maybe a little play. God, I'm such a bitch. Okay, nothing. Good action. Okay, leaving that one alone. Let's fuck with this one. I don't know if you guys really need to see all this, but this one I super glued earlier, so should... If you guys don't know, super glue honestly is not bad for knives because it can't withstand lateral pressure. So like if you try to super glue something, shout out to Shane Gables or whoever told me this, but if you try to super glue something and pull it this way, it's gonna, that's what super glue is good at, right? It's gonna fucking be impossible. But if you put lateral pressure on super glue, it'll just snap. So it's honestly a good resource for pivots because it dries so fast. You don't have to fucking wait like 3 days or, you know, however long it takes for you. For me, it takes forever for Loctite to cure sometimes. So, anyway. Pro tip right there. And I can probably just blast it out with air. So this one, again, at first there I had minor stick. I wouldn't say there's really stick now. It's kind of like maybe a little bit of grab, if you want to call it that. I'm going to loosen this. Oh, God. Oh, I have it set up lefty. That's right. I don't even want to dick with the other side. So this one, the centering wasn't good. So that's what I want to rectify on this guy. Hoping skiffs will do that for me. Let's see how the detent is set on this one compared. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same, so I don't know what happened there. Let me see if I can get this washer out. Yep. Just gonna flip it over. If I'm putting skiffs in, I like to flip the washers depending on the knife. Like in this case, I've carried this for a few hours and flipped the shit out of it, so I'm wearing that path in. So I want to go ahead and note that their bearings are facing in on both sides. And that's the way I would do it. So it's good to know that that's how they do it. My God, look at that. Like, that'll fuck your action up. Just putting that much lube in there. Jesus. It's amazing. It's like so much lube. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get some alcohol. Clean the lock face and the tang. Make sure that's all good to go. See, this one, it looks the same. It's got the same mark and shit on it. Jesus. See? So, I don't know. I think it's just the alignment on that other one just wasn't good. Pop the pivot out. Fuck. That's what I didn't want to happen. Oh, it's obvious. Almost looked like the washer was in backwards. Which would be nice, because that would maybe solve our centering issue. Grab another set of skiffs. Yep, I'm going to burn through skiffs for prototypes. I do it all the time. Basically, every stout prototype had skiffs in it. I just like skiffs, so what are you going to do? Alright, everything's clean. Except for the pivot. Let's just clean that out here. Also, I cleaned the inside before I did the super glue, but we might as well. Okay. We did the pivot already, right? Yeah. Alright, so we're going to take this side. We're going to take our pivot. Clean that out. Jesus. That through, we want it like that. Oh. Hey, you guys want to look at the back spacer? Here it is. Got a little hook on it. No lanyard hole. Look at that. Got a little piece in there. I don't know what that is. That's kind of cool. You'd think I'd know, right? Can't know everything. I'm sure Colin does. He did all the internals on this bad boy. Man, they really did a good job. I gotta give them props for the design in here. Just looking at the engineering of everything, how the, you know, the little pockets and all that shit. Really, really good work from Best Tech. Trying not to use an ass load of lube like they did. Just enough usually is what I like. Okay. So we got this. There we go. So I'm gonna pop this guy on. It's not. Oh. Good. There we go. Jeez, I hate when that really pops like that. Sounds bad. We'll see how we did on centering in a second. Oh yeah, I think we're good. All right. Okay, that's tight. This felt a little. There we go. Definitely centered. Yeah, look at that. Shit, okay. But let's see how tight I have it. No play at all. Oh, yeah. Let's see if we have any play if I back off a hair. No play. It's crazy how the action almost gets better when I tighten it. Yeah. And can we do the, yep. Yeah, that detent feels on point. Yeah, this one's feeling good. This one I kind of want to do the super glue again just because I want to use it. So this is how I do it. I'll show you. You got to know what you're doing, so just tighten it down. No play. Good action. So I can essentially just tighten the pivot all the way down and we should be good. What I'm afraid of is taking it apart now is going to cause issues. So hopefully nothing shifts while we dick around here. Okay, so we take the cap off. Get a little glue going. Tiny dab on there. It's like a Hot Ones challenge. Tighten it down. Check it, centered. No play. Action. I'm gonna back off a touch. Too late already. I think it's too late already. Fuck. Just trying to get a little bit back. It's kind of dropping, but there, I think it's gonna break in. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna leave it alone. It's basically dead center. It might be slightly off to this side, but it's hella better than it was before. That's for sure. So we have no detent lash of any kind. All good. Detent retention's good, but the detent is basically money. So cool. Do we want to keep going? Do you want to check out one of these? I mean, look at that action. I don't think we need to on these. Dead centered, all that stuff. Let me just see if the pivot's moving at all. So I could tighten it, but it's not like it wants to walk. No play. I mean, this thing's singing. D10's money. I don't think there's any reason to play with this one. I'd be surprised if this one walks. Everything's just tightened down. Like, whoa, jeez, Kev. Everything's tightened down perfectly on this one. Centering. Yep, perfect. Really digging this one right here. No stick at all on this one. That lock bar just right out of the way. I think what's going to help a lot is just adding a touch more lock bar access. I think that's really going to go a long way because it's just a little bit tight getting in there. And that's really all it is. Here's the other one. Fires. It's just, again, great action. No play. Check the pivot. Yeah, again, I can tighten it a cinch, but I couldn't loosen it. This one is looking pretty much dead nuts as well. Firing, no play. I guess I did tighten it a little bit there. Maybe a slight click there. Let's see. Let's get a little alcohol here. I'm sure you guys wanted a super long video about this, but man, that D10 is powerful on this one. Feels great. But what that's going to mean is it's going to be harder to do, you know, moves like that because the D10's stronger. So it's all sort of a balance. The only reason I take these apart is because of all the oil in there, you know. There's probably globs of it in there like on the other ones, but doesn't seem necessary. Very solid. Yeah, I gotta say, Best Tech did an absolutely fantastic job on these. These are some of the best prototypes we've received. I mean, Shieldin, QSP, and now Best Tech have all come through with really, really good prototypes. Kubi just, man, they to me, they disappointed, and I'm still waiting to see what they do. They're supposed to redo the mash. I keep following up. It's been like 3 months, and they're still just saying, oh, it's going into this phase or that phase. And, you know, hopefully they come through at some point. That would be nice, but I'm not holding my breath right now. But today is all about Best Tech, guys, and Best Tech has killed it. So that is a multiple disassembly of the Divo Knives Buzz prototypes. I just want you to keep in mind, if you are interested in this, your knife is not going to be like this. Anything that I noted during this disassembly will probably be addressed. So we'll be looking at, I mean, I love how there's no detent lash on any of these. Jesus, it's so nice. It's such a concern of mine. We're going to add lock bar access. That's one thing for sure. We're going to add, of course, this is going to be T8. This might be T10. We might leave it T8. Let me think. What else did I say? We'll have to ask them to focus on, you know, lock stick, lock engagement, whatever they need to do to make sure that that doesn't become an issue. I believe we'll try to make sure we get an extra lock bar insert for every knife. It's usually what we try to do, so you have an extra. Because, you know, 9 times out of 10, you swap the insert and it might fix your lock stick, and, you know, and then you're good to go. But so far, those are really the only things that I want to change. I want to make sure this is a hollow grind. I think it might be, but just a very shallow one. Because, like, if I line up something flat on it, let's see. That's not long enough. The ruler is just hard to see for you guys, I think. I mean, there might be the slightest gap there. But, yeah, I mean, ever so slight. But if I look at the satin one, well, you can see a gap. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. But to me, this feels thicker than this. This just feels really thin. You can feel that hollow, in my opinion. But it could be the finish. Could be the finish. Could just be me. So, I really love the satin. I love the belt satin on here. I love the ergos on here. I would like to strip 2 of these and swap them and do a reverse tux. That might work. Maybe we could take the one that has the lock stick issue and swap it with one of these, and then, you know, but then you'd have another one with a black handle and a satin blade, which maybe that looks cool too. I don't know. But it would be interesting to see for sure. But I'll talk to Colin about that. Maybe we'll figure that part out. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this knife. I think Best Tech killed it. I think we did a good job with the design. Colin gets a lot of credit on this one. This was not one that I sort of, sketched up and was like, hey, let's, try to do this. And then he went from there. No, I think he brought the design to me and was like, hey, here's one I've been working on. And then we added the buzz cut flipper on it. I don't think it had it originally. We might have tweaked the hole shape or some other stuff. Added the wire clip. Maybe made it a liner lock. Can't remember if it was originally. But yeah, Colin gets a lot of credit for the buzz here. I want to make sure that comes through, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel bad because I feel like a lot of times people give me credit for the designs, and everything we do is a joint collab effort, and I just don't want to ever feel like I'm somehow soaking up, credit for stuff, because it's 100% a team effort all around. Whether it's the design or back end stuff or doing whatever, it's all just both of us working our asses off for it. And I love doing it. I really do. And I love working with Colin. We're just such a good fit, I feel like. So anyway, that's the Divo Buzz Disassembly. You guys let me know what you think down below. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will catch you later.